to Compassion Offensive Radio YouTube. Today is November 11th, 2020, and thank you for joining me. Welcome. This is our second post, I guess our first official video, entitled Kwanzaa for the rest of the year. So I know you've already gone to my SoundCloud and you've already heard my last few posts and the ones that refer to Kwanzaa, so you already know what this is about, right? Well, let me fill you in just in case you don't. I had a great idea back in June to celebrate the tenets of Kwanzaa during Juneteenth week. Juneteenth is an African American holiday that celebrates the Texans, the enslaved Texans, found out 2 years after the fact that slavery was abolished and that they were free. And Juneteenth is a reminder of these things. For me, because part of my upside down earth movement, remember we're flipping things upside down and questioning them, I thought to myself, I said, you know, we celebrate this on June 19th, but it's called Juneteenth. So that could be the 13th, the 14th, the 15th. And I felt like our ancestors specifically called it Juneteenth instead of calling it June 19th to remind us, don't fall for the okie doke. So I had a really great idea that we could start Juneteenth celebrations on June 13th into the 19th, and that's a week. And it's almost exactly 6 months from Kwanzaa, so I thought it would be a good halfway mark. And it's warmer, it's summer. I just thought it might be a fun addition. Then, through the summer, I said, you know what? It wouldn't be a horrible idea to incorporate the tenets of Kwanzaa daily. So I looked and said, hey, Kwanzaa starts on a Saturday. Let's start there. So this is not intended to be a long post. It's a suggestion. I'm always thinking of ways in which we can celebrate our similarities instead of our differences. And to me, Kwanzaa is one of those celebrations where you would not immediately think that you could incorporate similarities on a cultural level into, say, a national or even part of our global community. But I think that we could. Specifically, November is National Native American Heritage Month. Myself, and I'm sure a number of other blacks who don't have legal rights but are of Native Indigenous American background like myself. So this month, I think Kwanzaa, the idea of celebrating getting back to the basics as a way of saying shunning a strictly consumerism mentality is an excellent idea. November 2nd is Black Solidarity Day. So it's a good time for us to incorporate those. And also November 2nd is Patriotic Education Day. And for me, Kwanzaa is as American as apple pie or jazz. Like, we started this celebration here. So it's automatically patriotic. It's American. So let me give you some background. Kwanzaa was started in 1966 in the aftermath of the Watts riots as a specifically African American holiday and almost as a form of revolution, if you think of it, by Maulana Karenga. And his goal was to give blacks an alternative to existing holidays and an opportunity to celebrate themselves and their history rather than what they've been told. And I think that's great. There are plenty other communities that have their ways of celebrating. So this seemed like a great idea. And also, I think in 2020 with COVID ravishing the planet, I don't expect for so many people to be rushing out on Black Friday, say. And maybe that's a good thing because people won't be fighting each other over materialistic things. But maybe this is a great opportunity for us to just get back to the basics. So let's just dive right in. So this year, Kwanzaa starts on a Saturday. So I said, you know what, we'll take every day and that corresponds with Kwanzaa this year and celebrate it from here on out. So the tenets of Kwanzaa, the first one is unity, so that would be Saturday. So every Saturday we focus on unity, or Umoja. And that's to strive for and maintain the unity of the family, community, nation, race. Every Sunday is focused on self-determination. Every Monday is to be focused on collective work and responsibility. Every Tuesday to focus on cooperative economics. Every Wednesday, which is today, to focus on purpose. Every Thursday on creativity and the feasting. And every Friday on faith. So let's start on Wednesday's tenet. So see, every Wednesday is purpose. I think it's quite befitting, since today is Veterans Day, that the purpose tenet, Nia, falls on today. Because when you think of the men and women that, you know, give their sacrifice and their time, or, you know, within themselves had to find some purpose and say, hey, I want to try this journey, this adventure, you know, something new. It's really what it's all about, though, you know, is what is the purpose behind that? Hopefully it's to maintain the integrity, the ideals, and the freedom of our country. Like, that's what this is all about. So, purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore people to their traditional greatness. And I think that's wonderful. The collective vocation. And what I would really like to do is to expand this to a national level. So all of America, right? All of us. If just one of us take a moment every Wednesday, even if just for a second, and say, you know what, this little collective work is for the greater good of us all, then imagine where we would be as a nation. So today, this is part of my work. Yes, today I dedicate this this vlog to the developing of our nation in order to restore ourselves to our greatness. And if you don't think that America's ever been great, then you just haven't thought long and far enough, because we were great even before 1400. And if you can't think of a time when America was great, then think about what your ideal of greatness is and strive to be that. Be the change that you want to see. Okay, so every Thursday is dedicated to creativity, or Kuumba. To always do as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited. So on a national level, that could be anything from picking up trash on your street if you see it, or not throwing trash on the ground to begin with, or especially with COVID, I think this is a great time to focus on the creative aspects. So even for like Halloween, I saw a lot of people that made their costume instead of say buy it. And I think with Thanksgiving and with Christmas coming, we'll have to explore more options of creativity. So just think of it as creativity instead of commercialism. Let's try that. And then I guess on a national level, we could always just think to maybe try and buy American when we can, and or to support small business, yes, like the Strand bookstore or your favorite restaurant, or I mean, there's so many ands. But if each one of us could just take one moment out our day every Thursday and focus on that, then I think that it would be transformative. So every Friday, every Good Friday, right, is dedicated to faith. And that's to believe in all our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness of our victory and struggle. And I think we need that more now than ever. And see, this is the catch-22 kind of phrase, right, at the end where it says the victory of our struggle. Because what my truth of my victory or my struggle may not be the same as the person standing next to me. But what it's asking us is that to not be naive, and I think it's, especially with the media and propaganda here and there, it can be very difficult to know, to tell the difference of what's really right and what's really wrong. So not to be naive, but to hold some faith in your fellow American, your fellow brother or sister, that there is some good in them and that we have some commonality. And that ultimately is what compassion is all about, is seeing the commonality and empathizing with that. So that's what I say we focus our Fridays on. Saturday is focused on unity. And I think that is, it makes it a lot easier to focus on unity on a Saturday because you don't have to go to work, and it's usually not a day that's focused too much on money. It's kind of a laid back day that you can reset. So that means to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. And like on Saturday, Saturday is a day where people get up early and go play sports, especially here in the city. Like the parks, people start playing soccer at 10 o'clock in the morning. Some people worship on Saturdays as well. So I think that's an excellent day to just focus on maintaining some sense of unity and camaraderie on Saturdays. So on Sundays, we have self-determination, or Kujichagulia, to name and define ourselves, as well as create and speak for ourselves. And I think that's a great tenet on Sundays, because that was the reason that America was founded. One of the main reasons was for religious freedoms. And what really is a religious freedom when you think of it? It's saying that I am demanding the right to praise or worship or think or live in a way that's in line with my beliefs. And also, you're free to do the same, as long as we're all respecting each other and causing no harm. But ultimately, your relationship with God or the universe really is one of self, right? When you think of praising or asking God to be your best, you're really just saying you would like to incorporate your highest self, and that takes a lot of self-determination. So I think Sundays are good to focus on yourself, your self-determination. Mondays, work, back to work, right? Manic Mondays. Well, maybe they won't be so manic if you remind yourself that you're working for the collective work and responsibility of the community and the nation. So that's the Ujima. To build and maintain our community together and make our brother and sister problems our problems and solve them together. One thing I have loved, well, of course I don't love at all the pandemic, but one thing I have loved and I want it to happen for some time is for our first responders to get their due respect. Doctors, nurses, EMTs, our firefighters, but even deeper than that, right? The maids or the hospitality service at the hotels, right? Or our cashier or the person at the gas station. It kind of finally feels like people are being respectful the way that we always should have been. So just take that with you every Monday. If we all can just remember that, you know what, do a little bit to make someone else's problems yours, or to lovingly accept when someone is helping you and then you pay it forward when you can. Every Tuesday, cooperative economics. That could be, we could make that Buy American Tuesdays or Buy Black Tuesdays, where we work to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together. I think that's an excellent start for a Tuesday. Turned up on a Tuesday. Got collective work responsibility, we doing it. We have collective work and responsibility, we're doing it. So yeah, that's on Tuesdays. I say we can maybe make it a Buy American Tuesdays. And then that brings us back to Wednesday, today, which is Nia and our purpose. And the purpose of it all is to foster compassion. That's what the goal is. And also live a good, fun life, right? Be respectful so that everyone else can as well. And to leave this earth in a better condition than we found it. So I hope you enjoy. I don't want to be too wordy because I want you to take this in and really let it sit with you. I think it's a great idea. I don't know, maybe we give it a try. Or if nothing else, maybe by the time Kwanzaa rolls around in December, we as a nation would be like, hey, we're going to celebrate Christmas and Kwanzaa and just, add a little extra love into it and start the new year off right. So that's what I got. I hope you enjoy. Here's a close-up, just in case you could not read. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching Compassion Offensive Radio YouTube. I hope you have enjoyed and you be well. Cheers.